Hello everyone, my name is Manish. I'm from Group 30. We are a group of 5 people and we are gonna present strategies for MNCs in the global clothing industry. Our group has 5 people named Mujo, Manish, Viren, Mihir, and Debbie. We are going to present the introduction to the industry, dynamics and growth of the industry, state's role and relationship with firms, industry competition and competitive environment, capital and labor intensity, challenges for MNCs, and strategies that are deployed by the MNCs. These are some of the main players that are in the garment industry: Zara, H&M, Uniqlo, Gap, and Primark. It's important to note that these companies have a significant presence in the fast fashion segment, which is a substantial part of the larger global garment industry. The industry also includes sports brands like Nike, Adidas, and Puma, as well as numerous other manufacturers and retailers. As for the exact market shares of these companies, that is more difficult to determine due to the sheer size and diversity of the global garments industry. Market share can fluctuate based on a variety of factors, including changes in consumer behavior, fashion trends, and economic conditions. However, a very rough indicator, consider that the global apparel market was valued at about $1.5 trillion in 2020, and the biggest players, companies like Zara, H&M, and Uniqlo, typically reported annual revenues in the tens of billions of dollars. This suggests that even these major companies only represented a small fraction of the total market. The fast fashion industry is quite dynamic due to its nature. It's based on the continuously changing fashion trends and the capacity to design, manufacture, and distribute the new styles in a very short period of time. This leads to a constant churn of new products, but also significant challenges in terms of sustainability and labor practices. Conversely, more mature markets like the United States and Europe, while still large, may not be growing as quickly. Some reports suggest a slight decline or stagnation in these regions, potentially due to market saturation, economic conditions, or changing consumer attitudes towards fast fashion. Now I'll hand it over to Mihir.
Hello everyone. Now we are looking at states' role and relationship with firm. First, state roles. Policy and regulation. State sets policy and regulation in various aspects of clothing sector. Economic development. Governments often implement strategies to attract and support the clothing sector for economic development. International trade. State negotiate, establish trade agreement, trade, import and export clothing products and also participate in international organization. Labor standard. Government enforce labor standard and regulation to protect workers' rights, fair wages, and promote safe working conditions in clothing sector. Sustainability and environmental initiative. The state plays a role in promoting sustainability and environmental initiative within the clothing sector. Second, firm roles. Business operation, clothing firm engage with designing, manufacturing, marketing, and selling clothing products and invest in claim management marketing. Sorry, chain management marketing. Innovation and design. Innovation in the clothing sector by developing a new design, materials, and manufacture process. They invest in research and development. Employment and economic growth. Clothing firms create job opportunity, contributing employment. They also generate revenue, pay taxes, branding and manufacture. Firms develop and manage their brand identity, differentiate themselves in the market and create marketing strategy to attract to customer. Supply chain management. Clothing firm establish and manage complex supply chains involving suppliers, manufacturer, distributor and retailers. Relationship between state and firms. The relationship between state and firm in the clothing sector is a collaborative one, although tension may arise in certain areas. Some aspect of their relationship including: first, collaboration. State and firm collaborate on issues such as a policy development, sustainability initiative, and economic development plans. Second, compliance and regulation. Firms are expected to comply with state regulation and standards such as labor laws, environmental regulation. Third, economic incentives. State may provide economic incentive and support to clothing firm to encourage investment, job creation, and export promotion. Four, advocacy and representation. Firm may engage in advocacy of efforts through industry association or trade group to voice their concern, provide input on policy discussion. That's uh, over to Viren.
So
So
when we
when we
talk
talk
about
about the state roles and relationship with the firm, one real life example is the collapsing of the Rana Plaza building in Dhaka, Bangladesh, which was a garment factory. Approximately 1100 fatalities were recorded, and it was a big blow to the garment industry as they received a lot of backlash regarding safety. The overview was in response to the disaster, international clothing brands, trade unions, and NGOs came together to form a accord and fire and building safety in Bangladesh. The main motive was to increase safety in the country's garment industry. The roles of states. The Bangladeshi government played a very crucial role in supporting the accord. They partnered with international stakeholders to plan the legal framework and infrastructure needed for inspection, remediation, and monitoring of factory safety. The government cooperation and commitment was key for the successful implementation of the accord. And the role of the firms were 200 international clothing brands and retailers signed the accord, making sure that the safety is top tier and in the factories of their supply chain. The firms contributed financially to the initiative and worked collaboratively with the Accord experts to inspect factories, identify safety hazards, and implement necessary changes. The collaboration and impact. The Accord created a platform where states, firms, trade unions, and NGOs work together towards a common goal. The collaboration resulted in factories making significant improvement to their infrastructure and working conditions to comply with the accord requirements. The fashion industry nowadays is competitive due to several factors. First one being the speed. So it is all about the fast fashion at the moment. Like if there is any product that is like any company bringing products day by day very fast into the market and keep changing the trends, and the manufacture is very high, the sale is going to be higher, and it all depends on the speed of the in company. The second is the price. So lower price points is the major competitive factor in the fashion industry when you keep in mind the population of the country, where people are more inclined towards more reasonably priced clothes. So price plays a really big role in the fashion industry. And the third one is product differentiation. There is a need of constant changes, uniqueness, and attractive design so that they stand out in the market. So product differentiation is a very important factor to be taken into concern when clothing and fashion is there. The fourth one being the brand image and marketing. So how well the brand is going to do all depends on the marketing strategy, how well they are marketing the product, and how big is the brand, and how much the people trust the brand. It all depends on that. And the fifth being the sustainability. So the people are going to look more at the brands that have been there for a very long time, and they have been like a go-to brand for all the people, for everything. So people will always choose sustainability over just basic or like quick needs. Yeah. So over to you, Joe.
Thank you, Viren. Could you mute yourself, please? Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Mujobek from Group 30. Today, I'm going to talk about the application of water spy bosses to the fashion industry, its capital and labor intensity, and the challenges that MSAs face in this sector. So let's start with the water spy bosses. First, the threat of new entrants is relatively low due to substantial investment required to compete with established brands display low barriers to entry. Second, the bargaining power of suppliers is relatively low but can shift due to growing sustainability concerns. Third, the bargaining power of buyers is high due to a vast array of choices and influencer preferences. Fourth, the threat of substitute products is high given the availability of similar products and emergence of second-hand and rental services. Finally, the competitive rivalry is intense in the fast fashion industry with a constant need for innovation to stay competitive. So now let's move on to the next slide. Moving on the characteristics of the industry itself, we find that it's capital intensive, requiring large investments for manufacturing, equipment, logistics, store locations, e-commerce platforms, and more. Moreover, it's also labor intensive, relying heavily on labor for production, with a significant portion of the labor force concentrated in countries where labor costs are lower. So if you look at the figure, you can see that Bangladesh, Madagascar, and Ethiopia have the lowest labor cost. It's important to note that the balance between capital and labor intensiveness can vary within the industry based on the individual company's operational model. Finally, multinational corporations, or MNCs, in the fast fashion industry face unique challenges. Due to the capital-intensive nature of the industry, large amounts of capital are required, which can create financial pressure and risks, particularly during economic downturns. The labor-intensive nature brings challenges related to labor rights, fair wage, working conditions, and maintaining ethical supply chains. The fast-paced environment requires efficient and responsive supply chains, and balancing this speed with the need for quality and sustainability can be a challenge. Increasing security from consumers and regulators due to sustainability issues puts additional pressure on MNCs. Also, rapidly changing consumer preferences demand that MNCs are agile and responsive. Lastly, the rise of e-commerce and digital technologies have transformed the retail landscape. This is sorry, necessitating heavy investments in digital channels and data analytics. Addressing these challenges requiring MNCs to constantly innovate, adapt, and rethink their business strategies, understanding the evolving industry landscape, regulatory environment, and consumer behavior is crucial for these companies to remain competitive and sustainable in the long run. Thank you. Now I wrap up my presentation and hand it over to the next presenter, Debbie.
Hi everyone. Today I'll be talking about the strategy for MNC. Here I have six strategies deployed by the MNC. One, supply chain optimization. This strategy is to aim the optimal operation of the manufacturing and distribution supply chain. Means minimizing operating costs, including transportation costs and distribution costs. The number two, ethical sourcing, and is to ensure speed of delivery. This strategy is to help the company in order to ensure delivery on time. The third strategy is diversification strategy. It helps business to identify new opportunities, to expand market shares, advantages to new markets. The fourth strategy is the brand management and the marketing. Here, here it helps the company to be more connected to the customers, help them their brand through storytelling, influencers, and social media. The fifth strategy is the research and development strategy. This strategy helps the company to innovate and try to get into offer new products. The last strategy is the infrastructure expansion. This strategy helps the company to expand their businesses into other new markets. Now I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, Debbie. So, in conclusion, we can say by implementing these strategies, MNCs can navigate the complexities of the global clothing industry and position themselves for a long term success. However, it's important to note that each company's approach may vary depending on its specific goals, resources, and market dynamics. Thank you.